Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Table Talks. Grab a cup, circle up. I got mine. You guys got yours?
Of course.
Of course. I just so everybody knows, I told May if she wanted to drink wine, that's fine. It's Friday at night at like 9 p.m. her local time.
Exactly. Exactly. But I'm after one glass of wine, so I thought it would be really funny if I had another one now.
That'd be fine. Totally
I
fine.
think it would be. Maybe I should. Yeah.
I get that. So it's the coffee table / wine combo. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
Cheese? What about cheese? Can we have wine and cheese?
I think that's a different show.
Oh, okay.
It might be a different show. This is true. Just so everybody knows, if you'd like to connect with May and do a bit more looking into what it is that May is up to now and in the past, feel free to click the QR code. I tested it. It's not malicious. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. I promise.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, no. Oh, we see you, Britt. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Cyber Gangsters, Cybersecurity. Hello, hello. YouTube didn't notify me. Oh, no, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry. That might be a setting thing, especially if you already hit the alert button. But yeah, as always, we offer our coffee table talks across 5 different platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Yeah, we still do Facebook.
Because we're old.
X, also known as Twitter, and Twitch. That way you can join at the level of anonymity that you are comfortable with, because that's what I like. Privacy is important. So anywho, without any further ado, May, thank you so much for joining us. I didn't even introduce Will because I'm a jerk.
No, that's fine.
Everybody, if you're new here, this is Will McCullen. He is my infamous cohort, partner in crime, all things positive, not bad crime. Please don't.
Oh no, I'm infamous.
We don't
should
need
get
to
a cat.
Right. You don't need to be added to any lists here. Okay, that'll be not fun.
That's fine. We can take care of that.
Right. Will is the program manager for the IT Center for Excellence at PIMA Community College out of Tucson, Arizona. He's got a great passion for education in cybersecurity and IT space. He's wonderful and lovely and comes with a shiny bald head, and I love him so much. There we go. Introduction. Did I do it right? Is that good? So May, you have been in this industry for over 20 years. You're currently with Cyber Range Solutions. Is that a US-based company? Because I know you are not.
Is.
Yep.
It is, though I'm not based in the US. I'm based now in the UAE.
Yes. So, yes, you are. Yes. If anybody, I met a student at a local event here Wednesday night. It was Wednesday night. It was with my good pal, Mark Liggett. And he brought together a group called BRSec. And there were so many students from the local university there. It was amazing. There was also a young lady there. Her name is Nat. So shout out to Nat if you're watching this morning. Thank you so much. She actually, I was mentioning the talk coming up and told her it would be great, if she wanted to come check it out, because it's very casual. It's, I feel like it's, everybody can get on board. And I told her, I was like, and coolest thing about May is she's like my favorite Israeli kind of lady, and she speaks Hebrew as a first language, which is super cool. Nat also speaks Hebrew. And I told her, I was like, what? I just run into you. And like, you're probably a handful of people in the Baton Rouge area that speaks Hebrew.
Actually, I just saw statistics that says that about 15 million people around the world knows Hebrew. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a terrible language.
So a little bit of side note here. I'm a quarter Jewish. So I speak really bad Yiddish.
I actually tried to learn Yiddish with Duolingo just because it made me laugh so hard.
So thanks to the dearly departed Aunt B for teaching me how to say bad phrases in Yiddish. Anyway. Anywho, May, so you've been in this industry over 20 years. We were getting there. How did you get your start? Where was the kickoff for you?
the kickoff. I was in the IDF for about 4 years at the time. I was serving in Unit 8200, which is, we like to call it the equivalent of the NSA because we're very, I won't say it. I'll be nice because we are what we are. So we'd like to say that it's the equivalent of the NSA. And I was about to finish my mandatory service and my second service because I was already an officer at the time. And then one of my friends told me, what are your plans for after you finish the service? I told him, I don't know, university, you probably work in QA or something. I don't know. How about you join us for a new thing? We're building a department for information security. Wow, that sounds great, but what's that? So basically, that was the first time I really heard of information security as a profession.
Yeah.
Before that, I did IT and networking and all sorts of nerdy things. But back in 2000, so back in 2002, was it? Yeah, 2002. So that's how I got into information security.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. A lot of it's always fun whenever I meet people that have come up right whenever, just right, you get that early 90s crowd that comes in, School of Hard Knocks guys and gals, and then you get the early 2000s, and you're my favorite early 2000s one is it's you. But it's like you guys just like kick the door down on so much stuff, and with our industry moving so quickly and strategies around cybersecurity and IT and network setup, and I mean it's amazing because you're part of this force of change that was just hands on keyboard in the trenches kind of thing. I mean, did you have any foresight at that time that you were doing things that
No, we're making it up as we went along. Like, we need to secure this department's IT infrastructure. How do we do it? I don't know. Let's try and hack it. How do you hack things? I don't know. Let's try and hack it anyway.
Yeah.
So basically, I think that the reason they wanted me to join the department was because they knew that as a teenager, I used to hack my way in computer games. So I think they sort of wanted that evil mindset. I'm not an evil person anymore.
No.
Usually, I try to use my forces for good. But no, I had zero understanding of how huge it's going to be. I mean, It was, for me at the time, it was like, let's start that. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but I'll continue with my BSc in biology because I'm going to be a doctor, definitely. I'm not going to leave the biology route, the medical route just for IT.
With your background in biology, can I ask you something? Because I also was very keen on biology in my college days. Do you feel like the best metaphor is to liken a network that you may be looking to secure like a human body, like a living entity that needs diagnoses and treatment?
Absolutely. I think that it's not by chance that we called it a virus and then an antivirus. I think it's a very good equivalent because you can get affected by so many things. It could be a bus hitting you or COVID hitting you. So yeah, I think there are a lot of parallels between those worlds. Yeah.
I always like those analogies that are like, that are linked back to human physiology, right? Because I think it's so easy for a wider audience of people to relate to, because you have a human body, right? You can't not relate to that because, well, you got one. So if you understand what your doctor's visits are like, then you understand the, putting good things in your body creates good health, and, maintaining your person also, right? It's like maintaining a network and all these things. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm taking over because I'm so excited.
So
I love hanging out.
Are you saying like now that those that have natural cybersecurity skills might be hypochondriacs?
I mean,
or just they like to put their hands in the sand, like real deep in that sand,
right?
Otherwise, we're going to. Honestly, we can't. I can't from like purely biology. I can't explain why anyone would choose cybersecurity as a career. I mean, it's stressful. Yeah. It's ungrateful. It's 9 p.m. on a Friday night. I just got 2 emails like 2 minutes ago.
Sorry, I love you.
Yeah, no,
I
no.
love
It's
the
not
typey thing.
Right? Right.
It's
the
the
typey
button. It's the button.
exactly. So you had to really like it, otherwise we wouldn't survive.
Yeah, I love what you said about hypochondria, actually, because I was like, you know what? That's exactly what it is. Because if anybody's ever interfaced with a hypochondriac, the one that I'm thinking of, I might be married to. Also, my 7-year-old is kind of in that realm. She's like, it bit me. I'm like, what bit you? She's like, look, there's a mark. And I'm like, what bit you?
Where?
Right. Where? Well, it was there, right? Like how many times have you scanned something and been like, wait, what was that? Like,
yeah.
Well, that's true. Then it is false, right? Because in the neurodivergent realm, having a hyper awareness of things and following those aspects to their conclusion and not being able to let go of it, those are superpowers in this industry.
Yeah.
I flashed this one up. SecureNation welcoming all. I believe that is my buddy Kim, probably so. But anyhow, I work for these people. They're amazing, by the way. Go check them out, follow, so that way you can get notified of upcoming events. Next week, we're doing live from GurCon.
That's going to be fun.
I'm so excited.
Cool.
I know. It's awesome. May, you have to come to GurCon next year.
Maybe next year. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that the one where you get like smashed? Yeah, I think that's the one, right? That's what I heard.
No, May, it's
No, that's not the
educational.
one.
There
It
might
is educational.
There might be free beer that is offered for conference attendees and goers. There might be, but
Might be. See, that's why I know about this one, because there's so many. Most conferences I don't know. That's why I do. See.
Oh man, so I'm gonna spell it out in the chat if anybody wants to go look that bad boy up. You guys got to come. I think Chris and Jamie Payne actually put out. They opened up a few more tickets because they were sold out and they get sold out really early. Usually they open ticket sales like late springish. But anyway, go check them out. But I put it how it's spelled so you can look up the right one. But it's in Michigan. I live in South Louisiana. Will is out of Tucson, right? We're going. It's the first time Will's ever been. So you guys, I'm gonna put a big like I'm a newbie sticker on Will, and you have to go say hi. It's gonna be great.
Oh, great!
You have something to look forward to.
Well, you're going to have to get ready for one of the badges, right? Because our students when they went to DEF CON had problems finding each other because there's so many people there, right? So they made up these badges that encrypted could have their own network and then find each other and locate how far away they were, alert when they were nearby. And I think next year they're going to try with LoRa instead, but trying to do those identifications so that they could find who was where. And so they're making some badges for us so we can find each other at the conference.
I think Rachel's got you covered.
Oh yeah, I've said already this conference, right? I'm just going to do whatever Rachel tells me to do. So
it's usually in your best interest.
I'm in trouble.
I have minions. I'm so excited. I'm stoked. We're gonna have a table set up, like not in the vendor area because we're not really like we're a vendor partner at SecureNation, but it's for the coffee table talks, which is not a like right. This is unsponsored content, or else there would be a script, and I don't like those kind of scripts for conversations, at least. So
wait a minute, what page are we on?
Like, I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
we planned all of this.
Absolutely not. That's trash. Horrible. It's awful.
Anyhow, so what are we going to do when May comes?
Oh my gosh, May, there's so much stuff for us to do. We're going to go to workshops and we're going to go to all the talks you want to go see. And we're going to ask, you've done talks though. Actually, how I first met you was you were doing, was it a TEDx? It was a TEDx. Yes. I ask you this every time and I'm embarrassed.
It was fun. It's almost, it's almost 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I can't believe this. Yeah, it's almost 4 years ago from TEDx. Incredible.
Yeah. Can that be found on your LinkedIn page, by the way?
Of course. It's on my LinkedIn page, and you can just look May Brooks TEDx or May Brooks Think Safe Cyber, and you'll find it.
Yeah.
So
it was awesome.
if you're to do another TED Talk, what would you do now?
That's a good question, Will. I love you.
I don't know. Why would you do this to me? You know how stressful a TEDx talk is? What would I do now? One of two things. Either I'll go back to the original one and reference like 2023, or it will probably be 2024 news perspective. I will probably say social engineering in the AI age, because it's becoming ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's not social engineering. It's understanding the difference between real content and fake content. And it's getting really hard to notice that. So I think that will probably be one option. Another option would be cybersecurity workforce, because one of the things, and I actually had a conversation with Ryan about it this week, what are we going to do with experts like down the line? Because when we started in this industry, we had to get our fingers dirty. But now, to be honest, I don't need L1 SOC analysts anymore. I have ChatGPT to do that for me. So I don't need them. But you can't become an L2 if you haven't been an L1. And you can't become an expert if you haven't done the work. So that's definitely something. And not just in cybersecurity, but I don't care about anything else.
So what do you see as the solution?
Unabashedly. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you see as the solution?
I don't know. For social or for workforce?
For workforce.
For workforce, I think that things like we've discussed before we started this live, like what you're doing at the college, getting the students to have real hands-on experience. And that's something that I've been doing for a while, because I've been teaching in academia for a while. And one of the things that I always try to do as an adjacent professor is to add as much hands-on or real-world scenarios to them to experience. I don't like those super theoretical things. I mean, yes, you need theory, but you need to understand what it's like in that practice. So I think that the academic world will have to change, and probably not just in cybersecurity, but again, that's the only thing I know, so I can't talk about anything else. But I think that the academic world has to change. It has to give hands-on experience. So by the time students graduate and go to the market, they're already sort of L2s, and will give them a lot of opportunities. And I think that, by the way, that's something that really differentiates between people that come to this industry from real passion, people who are interested at an early age and they're very passionate and they want to be in cybersecurity, unlike people that at around 25, 30, sometimes more, tell me, I heard you can make a lot of money in cybersecurity, so I think I'm going to do that now. Well, there's so many easier ways to make money. And seriously,
that are less stressful.
Much easier. Yeah. So,
I love you. That's fantastic. I mean, I often, say when we have folks around that the part that has just confused the heck out of us has been that if you go to any other type of profession, right? If it's healthcare, if you're learning how to weld, you will hope that somebody had picked up a welder. If you are healthcare, you hope that somebody actually drew blood, right? You don't just walk into your cardiologist who did everything online. Right? Why is IT so different there? And that across the board, everyone has said, "Oh, you don't need the online. You don't need the hands-on. It's just all you need to know is the answers." Have you had that same curiosity, and from your perspective of your part of the country world, is it the same there?
Absolutely. In one of my previous roles as a CISO, obviously we had a SOC, and we had, okay, I'll try to put it in a way that no one can understand what I'm talking about, but it was a financial institute. And in that financial institute, we had a department that had to use disk on keys like flash drives. And they had to use it for work. And usually they would take it every single day, download about 3, 4, 5 files, and take it out. Fine. And it was part of their normal work process. One day I listened to my SOC manager talking to one of the SOC analysts about something that they closed as an incident. Yeah, it's fine. What happened? One of the employees downloaded about 4,000 files to that disk on key. I was like, seriously, dude, didn't that like ring any bells, any red flags? But you said that it's fine if they use a disk on key because that's part of the job. Yes, but usually they do 3, 4, 5 files a day, not 4,000 files a day. Oh, so it's not okay? But you never said that if it's 4,000, it's wrong. Now, at that point, I really realized that they were right. I was in the wrong because I never explained to them why they are allowed to use disk on key in that specific department. What are the scenarios that they are allowed to use it for? And what is sort of normal? I sort of expected them to understand it themselves. I didn't expect them to ask that question. I mean, it wasn't like 7 files. It was 4,000 files. But to be honest, if they don't understand why we're monitoring something, they can't understand what's an alert. So
Right. Yeah. Ryan brings that up. Actually, whenever we went to the IT symposium in New Orleans, what was that, 2 weeks ago, maybe now? If Ryan's on, he'll correct me. Anywho, went to that, and one of the things that he mentioned was that, users usually don't understand. Like, you ask them, what is malware? Or, what is that? And they're like, it's bad. It's bad. They know it's bad. Like, that's the level of just security awareness outside of our community. And we're like, yay, it's bad.
Yeah.
Right? But do you know what it does? Do you know why it's bad? Like, that's
but even like, within our community, if you go to my experience with people starting out, they don't understand the why. They understand they have to take a suspicious link and take it to VirusToll and scan it. Great. But if it comes all clear, they say, oh, okay, that's fine. Not necessarily. If there was one alert, that's one thing. But if you had 150 alerts with this specific link and VirusToll doesn't know it, it doesn't mean that it's okay. It means that you need to investigate it a bit more. But if they don't understand the whys.
I don't know who cyber gangsters are. I need to go check these guys out. Cyber gangster says I got one better. Why is malware?
Why is malware? Oh, that's good.
Well, does that mean that we're kind of ineffectively communicating the concept?
Could be.
I think also, we're delivering it in a rote memorization kind of level, where it's
exactly
like malware equals bad, but we don't spend time on the concept. You know what I mean? On contextualizing that.
Yeah, like you understand why you have to do SNMP minus S, but what does that mean? Why would you use SNMP? Right. Why is that useful? When is it useful? And I think that we sometimes, and it's not true for every academic community, and it's not true for every graduate, but for a lot of them, I see that they don't understand the why. They understand what they have to do, not why they're doing it.
Right.
And I think that for a lot of, especially young people in cybersecurity, and especially very techie people in cybersecurity, when you tell them, let's have a conversation about cybersecurity strategy, let's talk about CIA triad, let's talk about risk management. No, that's boring. No, give me a keyboard. Yeah, but the only reason you need a keyboard is because we're protecting something. If you don't know what we're protecting.
Right.
And I see that even with CISOs. Sometimes I go and talk to CISOs and I ask them, okay, your company, what does it do? What's your business? And they don't really know. If you don't understand the business, how can you protect it?
Yeah, that's weird. That's okay.
That's way.
That launches right into the Simon Sinek why, right? If you've ever checked that out. But
Right.
the one thing that I agree with the students 100%, man. So many of the textbooks out there, they're right up there with the rise and fall of the Roman Empire for a cure for insomnia, right? They're like, right? And getting that why in there. If you want passion in there, you have to have a reason for passion. It has to be something that's real. It has to be something beyond just the theoretical. It's got to be, oh, that's my realm. That's going to affect me directly. Oh, I get it now, right?
What's in it for me?
Right.
That's always the question. What's in it for the other side?
Most definitely. So May, you're super involved with a group that most people are familiar with, but maybe not all, ISC squared, right?
IC2. They rebranded a couple of weeks ago, so I'm really trying. I have like a little note saying not IC square, IC2. Yeah.
Okay, so good. That's what happens, right? That's why. That's called being agile. I'm willing to fail quickly and move on, right? All right. ISC 2. Yes.
That really rolls.
Yeah. ISC 2. So these folks are usually associated with a few certificates and community and networking. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Sure. So I think most people, when they hear ISC2 or ISC square, they don't really recognize that name. They recognize CISSP. So CISSP has been sort of the gold standard for CISOs, architects, people in leadership, cybersecurity roles for about 35 years or something like that. So they've been around for quite some time. ISC2 is actually a non-profit organization. So they do make a lot of money. I can promise you they make a lot of money from selling the certificate, from selling materials, from membership dues, everything. But being a nonprofit means that they give everything back to the community. So by the end of the year, they have to spend everything they earned. So they're investing a lot of time, energy, and money, obviously, in giving back to the community, both in research activities, for example, the DI research that they published 2 years ago, the cybersecurity workforce status that they do, I think, every 2 years or so, and a lot of industry events as well, if it's Congress, if it's the local summits in different regions in the world. So it's very exciting. And I've been involved with them since I got my CISSP, which was 2014. So it's been a while. And I've been the president of the Israeli chapter. So they have local chapters all over the world. Last night, I had a conversation with the New Mexico chapter. So that was very exciting. So I tried to reach out. Yeah, so I tried to reach out to different chapters around the world, hear from them, talk to them, get them more involved. I've been doing that from the CAC perspective, which is the chapter advisory committee that I've been in for, I think, 2 years or so. And now I have a great excuse, which is being nominated to be on the board of directors of IC2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's very exciting. So I go through the professional stage of interviews and everything. Now it's a popularity contest. So if you're an IC2 member, please vote for me on October something, 11th, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's October 11th.
Yeah.
So please,
vote
shameless.
For me.
Shameless, absolutely shameless.
Well, May, I've been working on getting my CISSP because I hit the threshold for the time served. Does that sound like I've been living in prison? I've been living but I also participated in the FR Secure CISP mentoring program that Evan Francine and Ryan Cloutier, right? He was one of the instructors for it. So there's all kinds of really great free resources out there, which if you're neurodivergent, hashtag what up. But there's all kinds of great walkthroughs that'll walk you through every one. I'm taking my time in studying because I have 3 little ones and a full-time job and I need to sleep at some point. But yeah, I'll be scheduling my test. I'm excited. It's my goal for the end of the year and we're coming up on it real quick. So I'm super stoked.
Yeah, so hopefully we're doing a lot of things. IC2 has been doing a lot of things and I've seen it grown over the last 9 years or so, even more, because I've been following them for a while. So I think they've been doing great things, reaching out to communities all over the world. There are a few conversations between chapters around the world. So there's going to be in early December, we're going to have the second international chapter meetup, which is super exciting because we have chapters from the US and from Europe and from the Middle East and from Asia. So we're all coming together virtually and meeting each other. So it's an incredible opportunity to get in touch with people from all over the world, like-minded people, people who want to give back to community, who wants to create this in ecosystem. So I think it's incredible.
Cyber Gangsters chiming in again. I'm always curious with people's stories. I'd love to hear how your experience is shaping your perspective professionally and what your thoughts are on community building. And then I think they decided to shorten it to what do you consider your communities? So is it like folks that seem to circulate the same conferences as you? Is it just ISC 2 folks?
So I think coming from Israel is a very small country. We have 9 million people. I've been in cybersecurity for over 20 years. So the majority of people in cybersecurity either start out with me or I got to know them at some point. I've also been teaching for about 10 years in different academic roles and professional courses like CISO courses, CISSP, etc. So I know most of the community in Israel. But at some point, I started reaching out outside Israel. And when I relocated to the UAE, that was one of the first things I did was to reach out to the local communities. So I'm part of the Black Hat community, and I'm part of the ISC2 chapter in the UAE and other communities as well. And I try to reach out to other communities around the world, especially when I was in global positions like CISOs for global companies. And you have to understand, because culture does impact what you do. Yeah. It's both internally and externally. It's very different securing a bank in Israel than securing a bank in the UAE than securing a bank in the US. Those are 3 different banks, 3 different risk landscape, like threat landscape. So everything is really different. And if you have a community that you can reach out to, and we try, at least a few of the communities I've been part of, we really keep it under Chatham House rules. I know that if I ask something, it will never, ever be published outside that community. And I can tell you that I've been working with the media as well. I've been interviewed and I've been working with a lot of journalists throughout the years. And they know there are things, if I tell them, if they ask me about something and I tell them no comment, there's no point in asking me again, because I will never comment on something that I heard in one of those professional communities. So if they want my perspective as a professional, that's fine. But if they're asking me what happened in that incident, I will probably say no comment.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so
that's how I take it too. I'm always in the middle there. I'm like, nope, not my pig, not my farm. Not my information to share. Exactly. I get folks that'll share things with me that are internally facing only, and I'm like, they're like, can I trust your confidence on this? I'm like, duh. Do you want me to sign stuff? I will sign stuff, because no, I respect you utmost for first of all and utmost. Cyber Gangsters chiming in again. What are your thoughts on the next generation of professionals? Will, this will be interesting. Oh, and you just did academia roles. What can you give me to inspire and teach the next generation? So this is actually a May and Will combo, because Will is hands-on inspiring every day, all day, inspiring the next generations. And I know, May, you're very deeply involved as well. So
well, May, I think you've got a very unique perspective here, and I'm just guessing, right? Because I'm just an American. But in Israel, right, you are in a situation where it's a hotbed of activity. You have, like you said, cybersecurity and things like that have a whole different perspective than what we face on a day by day. And also being a much smaller geographic size has to develop a really tight community, and has to develop a community to where here it's a luxury, there it can be kinetic. It can lead to life and death situations. So how does that dynamic frame and form and affect these whole areas of building communities and what that comes into play?
Yeah, that's a great point, because it is different. Because Israel, well, I think that the US is also under attack a lot, but probably not when you look at the size of the population in accordance to the amount of threats and the amount of potential attacks all the time. So yes, it's a very close knitted community, and sometimes we even have like closed forums. So I used to be a CISO for an insurance company. We had a closed forum of all the other CISOs, and I knew that if something was going on in my network, I would just ask them, to be honest, on WhatsApp, because that's the easiest way to communicate. And I'm like, are you seeing this, or is it just me? And we would share those ideas, those alerts. A lot of it is also led by the INCD, the Israeli National Cyber Directorate, that they have the national cert and we have the industry specific certs, and they're trying to also do a lot of community reach out and a lot of community work. And again, because it's such a small country with such a small population, it's easy. Yesterday I also ran a volunteer Facebook group, because it's Facebook, called Think Safe Cyber. We have over 20,000 members, and it's just about sharing how to stay safe online with the general public. And I founded it there are so many cybersecurity experts there. So to be honest, sometimes I won't even log into Facebook for a few days, and I know that everything's fine. There are people manning the force, so it's fine. But yesterday, a woman reached out because her 15-year-old daughter is being bullied like really aggressively on Instagram, and she tried to reach out to the police, and she wasn't sure who to contact and how and everything. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I just sent a text message to a friend of mine who's the commander of that unit in the police department. So that's sort of the prerogative of being in a very small community. Not just me personally, but I know most people in the industry. And if I don't know someone, then I will say, can you find out for me in one of the groups? Can you find out who's the CISO of, who's the head architect of? And within probably a few minutes, we'll get some sort of reaction.
Yeah.
Well, that's an incredible point there too. The slight thing that you just kind of threw in there is having that kind of community where you can share trust and share information. I mean, that's one of the big problems across the industry, is being able to knowledge share, right? Well, the big problem with knowledge share is, can you trust the person that you're sharing it with?
Yeah. So when it's such a small community, it's easier, because I will only have to betray someone's trust once, right, and I'm done. Yeah, so
interesting perspective there.
Yeah, so you can't do that. So it's one for all and all for one. And that's actually something I really miss here in the UAE, because it's a small country, but because it's such a diverse place, over about 90% of the entire country is work immigrants, people from all over the world. So on the one hand side, it's incredible because you get to work with so many people from so many different cultures. It's amazing, but it is much harder to build that web of trust. See what I did there? Yeah, so it's hard to build those communities and the web of trust. I'm trying not to be in a zero trust sort of frame of mind, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a challenge across this country. Because I'm heading to Gurkhan. That's not just kind of walk out the door and drive down the street. That there's a little bit of distance involved there, and as such expense. But so how do we then create these communities, right? And from our perspective at PIMA, of course, is to try to develop the culture in-house and try to develop where people get used to asking others, hey, I'm stumped by this. Do you have any thoughts or ideas? and then also being used to sharing that information. I assume you folks are kind of taking the same approach, right?
Yeah, I think that with ISC2 it's very similar because we have the chapters. We're trying to build those local communities and hopefully now to start working between different chapters and create those global communities. I'm not sure what they're doing in the UAE. I have only been here for a year and a half, so I'm not that involved with the local community yet. I'm working on it. But we are, for example, with Cyber and Solutions, we work with a lot of universities, not just in the States, but mostly. And we see that not all of them, but a lot of them are trying to build those communities, to do events, to reach out to former students and sort of do mentorship programs. Former students will mentor current students. So I think that's a great way to achieve that ecosystem.
That's good to hear, because the academic community can get quite competitive as well.
Yeah.
This idea came from us.
Yeah. Well, see, I graduated from the Open Universities, both my degrees, so I don't know. And now I really want to work on my PhD, so we'll see how that works.
Have fun with that and juggling schedules.
We're cybersecurity experts. We're all hyperactive.
A little, right? Paying attention to everything. It's either anxiety driven or ADHD driven or a combination of both.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's my superpower. Don't take it away.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
I would never.
So.
I'm so glad I know you. You have no idea. I just really am. Just so appreciative.
Because you understand that you're normal and that it could be worse. See?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Always happy to help.
Thanks. Actually, it's great because May is also a mom and involved in all of the community aspects, and then the focus of the career and everything else. So it's nice to just sit and stare at each other sometimes and go, "Are you tired? I'm so tired."
I woke up at 2:30 a.m. and I see my next nap at 2 p.m. tomorrow because my daughter's birthday is tomorrow morning, and the cake is ready.
Hey, good job, Mom.
And that's it. Great. So I should probably think about what I'm gonna do with 7-year-olds. I'll figure it out.
Oh no, you have 7-year-olds coming to hang out. Oh man. My middle kid's turning 7. We'll be at GERCON on her birthday, so it'll be really sad. But we're doing our family party this weekend, and luckily for me, Josh is super dad. And he's like, I'll take care of the cake. Dun, 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 dun. And I was like, yay!
So I have my eldest is 14. So she's responsible for decorating the cake. I just made it. And usually she makes the cake, but I was up from 2:30, so I made the cake. But I'm not allowed to decorate it. She does a better job than I do. So see, it's all delegation. It's learning to delegate.
It is. It's learning to delegate.
I'm so handicapped. I need sleep.
Oh, come on, Will. Oh, come on. Cybersecurity never sleeps. That's going to be my next t-shirt.
Cybersecurity never sleeps. I'm sure we can find one. There's probably already one out there.
Yeah, well, I started
my
with
slogan,
right?
So you guys, I got some stickers to take with me to GERCON that say "bless your heart." Are you familiar with this phrase, May? Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Do you understand the underlining meaning? That it's not a nice thing.
Well, bless your heart.
Exactly. We have exactly the same in Hebrew, by the way.
What is it?
Kapara alayich.
Okay, so
but actually, kapara alayich can be bad and it could be good. It could also be kapara alayich. So it's completely different.
So what does this mean? What is it? Is there a translation?
I have no idea. I think it comes from Moroccan or something, but it's like kapara alayich. You just say that.
Yeah, what does it mean? Am I telling somebody to get wrecked? Like what's going on?
Yeah, like the verbal meaning? I have no idea. It's not. I mean, I'm sure it has a meaning. He knows everything. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I'll ask him if he actually knows what it actually means. It's not in Hebrew. I think it's in Moroccan, but it's sort of like it's like Yiddish. Like, oy vey. Oy vey can be bad and can be good. You will some say, oy vey, unbelievable. And like not in a bad way. So it's like oy vey.
I like it. I like versatile phrases. You know, like how you can use okay for just about everything, right? Okay.
Sure.
Or the dreaded response to a text message where you automatically understand someone is wrong with just the use of two symbols, the letter K and a period, K dot.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
rude.
And it could be like anything. So, but by the way, being in the UAE, you learn a lot of things about verbal and non-verbal communication. I found out what are the 4 scariest words in the English language. Yes, I understand. It's the scariest phrase in the English language.
So why is that the scariest?
Because usually when someone in the UAE tells you that, it means they have no idea what you want. Can you pick me up at whatever? Yes, I understand. No way. Get a cab.
I'm glad you're
going to be stranded.
Anybody going
to be stranded. That's it.
Anybody going to your area, like, right?
Yeah.
Because in America, we'd be like, yes, okay, I understand. Yes, it's actually more like depending on how it's delivered, right? With the tone and stuff in the voice, it's dismissive of like, stop talking.
Yeah, it's fine. Right. I understand. Right. Yeah, and you know that's it. Right. You're doomed.
Right. So it would be taken as an American going there. I would take that as, oh, they want me to shut up.
Exactly.
Because I'm
no. So like, basically, they say, yeah, I know, it's fine. Yeah. And then there is 0% that whatever you ask them to do, that it's going to actually happen. Like this was supposed to be yellow. No, okay.
Now I know when I come visit May that if anybody tells me yes, I understand, I'm gonna be like, but you
run
don't.
away. Run away. Just
May told me that means you have no idea. So let's start again. I will draw pictures.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
No. Otherwise, I'd just take it at face value and be like, they said they understood. That's fine. It's totally fine.
Exactly.
Then, oh man,
sad
sometimes
things
I have
happen.
To walk away from chat with spouse. I understand. Jonathan Comstock. Josh and I work on that sometimes. We try not to step on each other's toes. So this is a whole cybery house over here. Josh is a senior SOC analyst for a company. If you want to go send that, that's fine. Whatever. I'm just not going to mention it here because I promise him I never will. But anyway, so he's got all of his stuff set up in the office next. We're like professional buddies, but also married to each other because I'll run in, and it's great having somebody that close to you that you can just rattle off a bunch of industry jargon and they get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also a lot of why I should probably have t-shirts made for sales and marketing people. Stop emailing the analyst.
Stop emailing. That's it. You don't have to continue that sentence. Stop emailing. If I want something, I'll call. Don't call us. We call you. To all marketers out there, please don't call me. Please don't. Please.
Oh yeah, it's in this industry, man. You think, oh man, if only my spam filter would work, and then you look at the spam and you go, oh crud, it is.
and on LinkedIn, I mean, hi, you seem very interesting. Let's connect. Would you like to buy something you really don't need? No,
absolutely.
Why would you think I want that? What in my title makes you think that I would want to buy something? Yeah. So
I think people misunderstand sometimes. They think that I'm trying to sell them stuff, and really, I'm just like, nope. I'm actually just that level of nosy, and I would actually like to spend some face-to-face time and nerd out with you. Like legit, I will nerd out with anybody. That's how this got started, okay? I suddenly was doing all of these virtual calls, having these really fun conversations with really amazing people. And I was like, I wonder if everybody knows that all the people in cybersecurity are actually kind of cool and very fun and interesting and super smart and engaging and all these things. And I was
She
like,
wants something, doesn't she?
I
think she wants something.
What? Yeah, no, I don't. I don't want anything. I want to be friends. That's
Well,
it.
it's also like the LinkedIn ones, right? That are, I just would love to be part of your network and spam 100 my.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, so you should do what I did. Well, I actually created a post about a couple of months ago. I created a post about spammers on LinkedIn, and every time that I get a new spam, I just take it. And that's my reply. I'm not even saying a word. By the way, ChatGPT wrote that article because he's a genius. He's so smart. He's my best friend. Which is kind of sad, but he's my best friend.
Yeah. There, you know what's really great is I like to use it to check tone on things, because sometimes I'm really bad. I can come off as really abrupt, and I used to like send it to some coworkers, and I'm like, can you read this and just does it sound mean? Because it's not supposed to, but I might be sounding mean and I don't want to, right? And they're like, I don't have time for this, but ChatGPT does.
He will never say no. And he will always say, you're doing an amazing job. That sounds like a great idea. You actually told me that about the new podcast.
I never put anything in there like full names or anything like that.
No. I just can you write something for me about something? And it does that. And he just gets me. Or maybe my prompt gets me. But one of us gets me.
Yeah, definitely. There's gonna be a lot of fun things coming up with AI. Gary is writing all the articles on LinkedIn these days in the ever-evolving realm. Rachel is selling Avon. I am your Avon lady. No, I'm not your Avon lady. The way I approach people is just, to build community and at networking events, and to kind of go back to that piece of our conversation is I'm interested in what you do, but not for any other reason other than now I know what you may be interested to talk about. Like, I'm not trying for anything. I just want to know, because I'm so broad and like this deep in my understanding that once I know what it is that you do, then I know what kind of questions I want to ask you. And I get very excited very quickly about it. So I always approach people at networking events and I'm like, so what brings you here? Right.
But I think that's exactly when who referenced networking. I think it was Cyber Gangsters, networking events and everything. It's being curious. It's asking questions. It's not being afraid to go somewhere that you don't know anyone and just start a conversation. Now it's embarrassing as hell sometimes, but it's like a muscle. You do it enough times to just get, I don't care. I don't
Super
care.
Easy. Super easy after a while. But yeah, whenever we go to GERCON next week, I'm going to tell them May's coming next year. So be prepared.
Okay.
It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. I'm excited. And then I'll be like, so what brings you here?
You
immediately.
You told me I'm a very obedient person.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
What? If you believe that, I can make you a wonderful deal on the Burj Khalifa.
Really? Bless your heart.
Kapara. No, I haven't
What was
used
it that Cyber Gangster said? Wait, it was oy vey.
Oy vey.
I like that one.
Yeah. Oy vey.
That one's
it's like rolling your eyes. Yeah.
Or,
wait a minute, in Spanish you also say oy vey?
I didn't know that. In Spanish, this goes into
So
Spanish?
It comes from Yiddish, because oy vey is in broken German. Yiddish is basically German mixed with Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty easy for me to understand Yiddish, not so much speak Yiddish, but it's a very funny language. It's extremely funny.
It is. And there's so many fun things. I actually follow, the girl that played Blossom. Then she was also on, what's the one with all of the fun nerds like Sheldon Cooper? Why can't I remember?
The Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Right? She played Sheldon's girlfriend. I follow her TikTok, which is so funny because the first time we gathered, you and me, May, was for TikTok to talk about going through the EULA and privacy and the importance of it and how to utilize all that. By the way, I took all of our own advice. Okay, just so you know. And I do read more EULAs since our conversation. But anyhow, I follow her TikTok, and she has like kind of a series that she does of TikToks where she'll share Yiddish turns of phrase. It's super fun.
Oh, you have to share that with me.
I know.
Oh, that's incredible. But I don't go on TikTok, Connie. Actually, I'm going to buy a new phone.
I'm still trying to get over the concept of sharing EULAs on TikTok.
Of sharing EULAs on TikTok? No, I
don't think they will work. I don't think anyone will read that. If you can make like EULAs viral on TikTok, that will be like a whole new level of content creation. I don't think even ChatGPT can do that.
No. I mean, all of your social medias, make sure you understand what you're sharing, what it's going to be used for. And then I'm actually doing a talk in Detroit on October the 19th or 20th for securing sexuality. Do you remember when we had Dr. Stephanie Gorlick and Wolfgang Gorlick, Wolfgang from Duo with Cisco, and Dr. Stephanie, she's a very cool licensed therapist. I think I said that right. Counselor? No, therapist. Yes, therapist. Anyhow, they're starting because of their unique coupling, right? As a therapist and then as a security practitioner. And Wolf is also, a CISO advisor. Like, he's super cool, does talks all over the place. They're starting a conference that is specifically focused on serving like folks that are out there dating or have questions about sexuality or whatever it is. And the talk that I'm doing is actually on safely navigating your dating apps, basically how to hack your dating apps. And we're going to teach folks how to look at their own profiles from an open source intelligence gathering perspective, as well as being able to discern, right, what you were talking about earlier with AI and generating, how to discern genuine content from AI generated content and profiles and navigate that space. So it was cool that you mentioned that earlier. I thought about it saying something about the talk earlier, but I was like, no, that's too me focused. I can't. I'm gonna let May talk.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be really fun. So we're doing that in the end of October. Well, midway to the end of October. So stoked about that one too. And everybody go vote for May. May, is there a link? Where do we go? Where do we go to vote?
ISC2 members will get an email probably around like October 10th, 9th, something like that, up a couple of days before voting starts, and then can go online, and they have 2 weeks to vote. So you'll get so many emails around that time because it will be Congress and election vote. So please vote for me. I promise I'll do good. I promise. And if you should, and by the way, for people who are, I'm being completely shameless here, but for people who are with IC2 and they do want to get involved, I do invite you to first reach out, talk to me. The only reason I'm going to be I hope to be on this board is to serve the community, because I think that IC2 is doing a wonderful job, but I think that they can do a lot more. And I hope to try and get them to do things from within, not just the easiest thing is standing outside on the sidelines saying they should do more. It's much harder to actually do the work. So I hope I'll be fortunate enough to be able to do the work myself. And then I can say oy vey and really mean it.
I love it. Thank you, May, so much. I'm going to have to do some closing thoughts, by the way. Sorry. Go for it, Will.
You can always use the Desert Southwest equivalent. Yep.
Yeah, but oy vey. If you really want to be like Jewish, oy vey smir. I don't know what the smir means, but there is oy vey smir, but that's like a whole new level of oy. So,
well, what is it that they said with you really know if you understand Australian, if you know the difference between absolutely bloody absolutely, and abso-bloodalutely.
Abso-bloodalutely?
I'll ask Kaz and Sean tomorrow, my neighbors. I'll ask them tomorrow.
Man.
Abso-bloodalutely.
That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Well, you have some
the Scottish background too, right?
Will, you got some closing thoughts, and then we'll kick it off to May, and we'll tie a ribbon on this bad boy and spank it on the bottom. Go for it.
And she had coffee.
Yeah, it's definitely the awareness and taking a different approach with academia is so dang important. This is, so if you make it in the top seat in the ISC, the one interesting part that I've always kind of thought of is that certificates tend to be a reaction to, I think, many times academia failing. That they needed something to point at to say, you know that information, or you know how to do whatever, right? Because so many certs started off from companies, like Cisco or things like that, to say, yeah, you know how to do this kind of deal. And this all falls into the play of how we need to change things. It needs to become more operational, more let's show, can you do it, instead of do you just know about it. So well done. And yeah, you got my vote, because that kind of institution change would be fantastic.
Thank you.
That's my thought.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, May, for coming and grabbing a cup and circling up.
Thank you for having me.
We've got t-shirts for the coffee table talks. Also, I'm going to send you an exclusive coffee table talk guest only gift. So just so you know, if you guys come on the coffee table talks, you get a very secret gift. So it's a lot of fun.
Just click the link and
it's not a linky thing. It's not a linky thing. I don't say linky things. Not like that anyway. But I'm going to have to save you.
That's fine. You're
here. John Davis with SecureNation, the company that I'm with, actually had a limited quantity of coffee table talks t-shirts made up that we'll be passing out at GurCon. So I'm gonna have to save you one. Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be fun.
Me too. I'm so excited. So guys, we will see you next week. Feel free to reach out to May, connect with her. Always open for chatting. She's super warm and fuzzy and friendly, if you can't tell, and is definitely a wonderful resource, mentor, lady in tech, all the things. We love her. Vote for May. Don't forget, vote for May for the ISC 2 members. And we will see you guys next week live from GurCon. Same bad time, same bad channel. So don't forget to follow the SecureNation page as well.
And far wackier than normal.
It's going to be super fun. I'm excited. Can't wait. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.